Well, after all that excitement at our night captaining ceremony, we are back at our keep, and as usual, we got a few things to do. Well, let's first talk to Bevel here. Here you were night captain of the keep, but it was hard to believe. Nice to see you, Caspa. Bevel, what are you doing here? It's me, all right. I left West Harbor and came over here, and apparently just in time. I'd heard about the war, so I decided to don the gray and do my part. George was, wasn't very happy, but I kept thinking that West Harbor wouldn't really need me. Yeah, you would be dead if you were there. Not as much as you would, anyway. Near as I can tell, I must have just left town just before, before they all died. Yeah, well, I am sorry about your family and your dogs. I remember my mom cried when I left. She was so sure she'd never see me again, and I told her, Mom, I'll be fine. I'll be with Caspa. I promised I'll be fine, and I was right. But so was she. Well, have you heard of any other survivors? Don't think your father was there when it happened, Caspa. He left town when I did, and even walked with me a ways down the road. Hardly said a word, and he wouldn't tell me where he was going. He just disappeared into the swamps. Well, that sounds like my stepdad. I'm not sure about any other survivors. Tarmus, maybe. He came to my mother one night very late and said he had some arcane way of getting out of town. I guess he was offering to take us with him, but he didn't know where we'd end up. Mom said he was crazy and tossed him out of the house. Didn't see him around after that. Well, everyone died, so how did you find out about what happened to West Harbor? It was just rumors at first, and I didn't believe them. But then that companion of yours, Bishop, he calls himself, he said you'd been there and seen for yourself. Well, I wouldn't leave it to Bishop to be spreading rumors just to torment people. That is pretty much all he does. After that, I didn't see much point in holding hope. Well, what are you doing now? Khan has been having me patrol the walls, but I think she's planning to make a sergeant out of me. Seems militia experience is in high demand here. Well, that is true, and that is exactly what I think we're going to do. I'll have to talk to Khan about that in a few minutes. I'll remain here, Casper, for as long as you have a place for me. You have my vow on that. Okay, so we're going to have another sergeant pretty soon, and I already know what I'm going to have him do. But first, let's go talk to Vedal. You've been knighted, Captain? This changes everything, don't you know? And this pile of rubble will no longer do for you. Oh, no. Everything must be pristine for our glorious knight, Captain. So if you ask, I will mention to the stone quarry exactly who my illustrious patron is, and I will get you stone images. Get you stone. Imagine what you could build. Well, what can we build now? There are two great buildings that are rubble now. One used to be a guard tower, the other a church. They will be important buildings for your keep, so you should find people that could use them. Many people would clamor at the chance to be here, so choose wisely. Yeah, because basically on this you have a couple of options. You can either build a normal church to Lathander, which is for your cleric, or if you're a monk or you turn Kelgar into a monk, you can have a temple to the Sunfist. So it's kind of up to you depending on that. And the same thing with the tower, because you can either have it as a post for the Neverwinter 9, which is good if you're a fighter, or you can have a mage tower, which of course I'm going for the mage tower. Yeah, I think he's going to explain that right here. So who would be interested in the church? Funny you should ask. I've gotten a couple of requests while you were away. First request was from Ivor the Blessed, a holy priest of Tyr. Okay, I thought it was Lathander, but I guess it is Tyr. Who said he'll set up a mission here if we restore the old church to its former glory. He even offered to help pay for rebuilding the church. The other offer came from a monk named Roland. He says he's the master of the Sun Souls, or some such, and he's looking to pass on what he knows before he dies. Beyond rebuilding the church or converting into a monastery, I'm fresh out of ideas. we're going to go, like I said, Ivor, because we don't have any monks, but we do have a cleric, so we might be able to get some good cleric gear there. I wish to rebuild the old church for Ivor. Yes, yes. That's easily done. Rebuilding is easy. Trivial, even. And we have a good amount of money, but we need, what, 5? I don't know if we have enough at the moment. Let's see if I can get my... Okay, I can't. I can open that, but let's see. I did sell some stuff off screen. Okay, actually we do have enough. I sold some stuff off screen. I'm going to probably have to do that again with, once I get my group back together, because I think they have stuff I don't need anymore, but yeah, we should be good there. Actually, let's build... Yeah, let's go... I was going to say, let's do the tower, but let's actually do the church first, because I think we should have enough with the other stuff going on. We should be getting more money coming in to the keep pretty soon. I want to rebuild. Yes, we all know this. Perhaps keep about what we need. Tower in the old church. Okay, so we're going to rebuild that. This will be done of one of my finest works, just you see. So much to do, so much to do. Okay, and then we have you here. Oh, wait please, Captain. I've been waiting to extend to you an invitation from Luskin. Well, you've been waiting a while there, I guess. We have pressing business, which does not include invitations from Luskin at this time. I will thank you to step aside. Very good. Man, this guy just always gets pushed aside. Yes, fine. I'll just wait then. Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for him because he just gets pushed around this entire game. So, Sam, did you have something to say to me?
Yes?
That's nothing we don't need to... Yeah, what about your shop, just out of curiosity? Or is that, is he going to sell me stuff here?
Don't worry, I have put Leomon's merchant elemental in my stead back at the shop.
A what? I've never heard of that spell.
It's difficult to explain, but trust me, you'll still be able to trade there if you wish, and use the alchemy workbench.
Okay, so, yeah, farewell. Oh, there you are. I was looking for you, Alderaan. Oh, well met, I say. There sure are a number of visitors dropping by late. Alderaan, I heard you had found something, no doubt something I want to hear, since it will no doubt put my life in jeopardy soon enough. Well, yes, I do have news, you see. I've made some progress on finding a way to breach the claimed lands and enter the Vale of Merdelaine, one of the 3 challenges solved, really. Tell me about your breakthrough, then. Well, you see, you won't turn into zombies once you enter the Vale of Merdelaine, which I think is a quite good omen. Omens aren't good by definition, Alderaan. Oh, of course they are, especially with a little milk and duskwood jam. You don't eat omens, Alderaan. I hope you know that. But you see, the life-draining effects of the King of Shadow isn't strong in the center, as I expected. It seems to be stronger at the edges of his territory, where he spreads outwards. So while you couldn't walk there, if we could hop over the wall, so to speak, then that should give you the best chance of striking the King of Shadow. Why would that... Well, I think we can see that. So you mentioned that that's the first challenge. So, what's the other ones? Getting there, you see, is the problem. To do that, we need to create a portal, and then tell that portal where to create its other end. Can't just have it appearing anywhere, you know. It has to appear in the Vale. And how would we do both of those things? What do you need to create? Yeah, what do we need to create a portal large enough? Well, when Garius invited me to this keep, or kidnapped you more likely, kidnapped, yes, like Sand says, yes, when Garius invited me, one of the tomes he had me translate was the fascinating work called the Tome of Ilkazar. Garius had the tome? Yes, he was using it to transport legions of blade golems to and from the Vale of Merdelaine. There's no reason we couldn't use the tome to create the same portal and use it to hop into Merdelaine as if we were golems. Except that Garius, or one of the Shadow Reavers, has the tome, and is probably using it to control the golems. Yes, but that's a minor inconvenience, one of many which I'm sure you'll be able to overcome. Alright, I've heard enough. Let's go. Okay, so we kind of know what we have to do to get in there now. But, we got a couple of people to talk to in here. I forget where one of them is. Where are you? Yeah, we need to go to Guyven. Okay, he's on the other side. So we got some places to report to him.
They're back.
It's me, Captain. You got the letter about the King of Shadows, right? Brother Maxwell and I have had some fine adventures since then. We're hoping you have another quest for us.
Don't forget Huan and Condril.
Of course, and them too. So, do you have any jobs for us?
Choose your words carefully, Captain. With this lot, a misplaced word could send them to the 9 hells.
It could, but somehow I have a feeling that they have enough luck on their side that they wouldn't get killed. Yeah, we're going with this. Let's see, can we handle hostile adventures now? The King of Shadow was once the guardian of Ilfarn Empire. We need...
Ilfarn Empire, you say? Guardian to boot? We have a new quest.
You really should let the captain finish.
Candrel, Juan, prepare the horses. We ride immediately.
Don't you think we should ask?
We've tarried here enough, Brother Maxwell.
Yes, Darid. Sorry again about this.
Hopefully, they'll stay out of too much trouble.
Well, like I said, they've managed it so far. And somehow they're not dead. Okay, why is everyone injured in the keep? What have you guys been doing? Fair journey, Captain. What can this old traveler do for you? Well, I've found some places that might interest you. Oh, really? Tell me of your tale of your travels. Found Amangel's Haven. Ah, yes, I've visited many a wizard's sanctum in my time. They are rarely what you expect. Yeah, especially when they kill part of my party. Guyven reckons you've seen enough of the hills and the vales for me to share a thing or two with you. You're barely a path stalker, really, but Guyven can tell you of a life of wandering. Sit down and listen to me for a spell. And go back. Okay, I thought I was going to do it automatically. And that's how you can live off the earth, no matter how desolate a place looks. There's always some life to sustain you if you know where to look. You've tired me out, Pathstalker, and that's enough talking for me for the present. Okay, I don't know if that gave us anything. And then I found a place. Visited Lord Howlethan's Never's tomb beneath Castle Never. Lord what Never's tomb? It's a strange sun elf that chooses to be buried so far beneath the sun, but you might understand if you knew what he went through in his life. According to one legend, not sure how true it is, Howleth Never and those that followed him fled Neverwinter Woods, which was then called something unpronounceable by my tongue. Their ancestral home had been sacked by orcs and goblins and barbarian hordes that dominated the Sword Coast in those days. After a long bloody journey to the mouth of the river leading from the woods, Howleth planted his sword on the ground and called this the winter of their journey. Lord Howleth assumed that this would be a graveyard for his people and marked the end of his line of elves in despair. His people dubbed the land Nevar's Winter, which became Neverwinter. Then a group of human cast-offs from the south came along, and the two people formed an uneasy union and built our ramshackle defenses. When the ravaging hordes came from them, the humans and the elves stood together, and against all expectations they prevailed. Humans and elf blood bonded in the battle, and after the victory they decided to remain there and build a city called Neverwinter. You're a real traveler, you are. I'll tell you a secret, one about Crossroad Keep. Been here before. A terrible war with the King of Shadow raged through here. The captain at the time hid something of value before his men were slaughtered 2-1. Check just outside your walls at the base of the second tower north. You might find something of interest to you. Okay, so we got a little buried treasure to get. But let's talk to Kana first. I've informed the men that their captain has been knighted. The keep is now not only your duty, but your right as well. When we first met, I could tell that greatness was inside you. As always, I am honored to serve. How may I be of service, Captain? We were talking about, let's see, organize the men. We're going to make Bevel a sergeant. But was this the, I want to talk more depth about men and their sergeants, yeah. What of Bevel? You said his only experience in West Harbor was in the militia. All harbormen are as tough as you, and he, what I would give to have more. Well, they kind of all died, so we're pretty much the last of a dying breed here. His experience in combat, and he has natural skill at leading men. He'll make a captain, or a capable sergeant with training. But more than training, there are undercurrents in him. He wobbles like a ill-balanced blade. If those are addressed, he'd become even more capable. What's he been training in? I had planned to train him to lead the patrols on the high road, but as always, if you have other orders, yeah, Bevel can recruit more militia, train him on the road patrols, particularly in getting merchants to pay their tithe. We want to make sure the high roads are safe, encourage to use them. Yeah, we're going to put him on the roads. Let me see which is the right one to do, though. Special subject. I want him to make sure the high roads are patrolled, encouraging more merchants to use them. I think that's we'd probably take an alignment hit because that's trying to be greedy. So we will make him sure that he patrols the roads, encouraging more merchants to use them, because I think that works out better than having few use them and pay more instead of having more coming. So we'll do that. I can see your point, Captain. I believe he has a way with people. Are you sure about the training, Captain? Once he is training and assigned, we can't effectively put him somewhere else. Yep, that's what we're going to have him do. Excellent. I will see to it at once. And let's just check the usual stuff. How battle ready are they? To remember, the Great Cloak is well versed in the matters of warfare now. I think we've already read all this. They aren't as capable as squires, and certainly not knights, but they are very skilled and disciplined. Unified and are extremely high spirit. They're eager to look forward to their next assignment and challenge. The men are good arms and armor. We're good there. And what sort of standings do we have on recruiting new men? I forget what we had there. We'll let anyone don the cloak who, as long as they aren't, that we can take that down again, but don't want to do that right now. Change subject. Let's talk about tithing. Do you want to change any of the tithing attacks? I want to tithe. Talk about the merchant tax. But actually, let me check before we do that. Or we can do that. I have news from Lord Nasher. A war levy is being collected from all farmers and merchants. Half of this tax will go to Lord Nasher, the other half to the local lord or knight. It's your direction how high the levy is, although Lord Nasher expects a certain amount of gold from each of the landed knights. How much do you want to levy to be? We have no money right now. Make the levy light, match the taxes to what other lords and knights have decided. I want as much money from them as possible. Yeah, let's match the tax to what other lords and knights have decided. As you command, Knight Captain, our men will not be collecting the tithe. Lord Nashville's tithe collectors will. So you should get your share of the levy soon. Okay, let's see. I just want to check this. So peasants are average with it, but the morale is high. We got best. Training is the best. High, good, average. And assigned to patrolling roads, assigned to recruiting. Land security high, road security high. So yeah, so let's do a little bit of changing around here. Tithe collectors have gathered the levy. Your share is here. What did I get? It doesn't tell me. But it'll be in the keep treasury. So, like I said, we're going to talk about tithing on the merchants. Charge the merchants to standard fare for using the keep roads. Yeah, we're going to go that. And I think that's all we need to do right now in here. But we're going to be doing the usual thing of leaving and then coming back in so we can finish the construction. Although, like I said, I might have to sell some stuff. Okay, so we had used 50, so we got about, what, 10,000, I think, from the tithe, or at least our part. The construction is complete, Captain. I'm eager to hear what you want us to do next. I want to rebuild something. My favorite subject, as usual. Okay, so we got 26, so if it's about 50 for that, we should be good. The tower and the old church. Any ideas what we could do for the tower? Perhaps Sir Neville could use the tower for something or other. There's are probably more that are interested as well. Okay. So let's go check out our church. Oh,
I
hey,
see
Dad.
the moon has been at your back. You look well.
It has been a long time.
The mare has grown dark, and many villagers needed help in leaving before it was too late. And I have sought the scent on the breeze to learn of the Dark Hunter, King of Shadows. More can still be learned in the mare, but I have discovered something and had to tell you at once.
What happened?
I heard one of the scouts was asking about me. Oh, well met. You're Dagon, aren't you? Your son has...
I am Dagon, yes, and you are Eleni, of the Circle of the Mare.
Once of the Circle, yes. What do you want?
Like you did. Bill, what did you want with Eleni?
It does concern her. Concerns you both. As I hounded the trail of the Dark Hunter and his minions, I came across something I thought lost. The druids of our lands, the Circle of the Mare, still live.
That's impossible. You're mistaken. If they were alive, I would know.
I can only venture to the swamp for brief periods of time. The reeds and waters feast on the living now. I followed the druids, and they had a ritual I think sustained them, even in the claimed lands.
The Circle! They must have found a way to restore part of the mare. Keep it from the influence of the shadows. If so, we need to find them. They can tell us more about what's happening in the mare than anyone. And if we can get them to ally with us, we may even be able to stop what the King of Shadows is doing to the land itself.
These druids are as powerful as you say. They will make a valuable ally.
That was my thought as well. Thank you for understanding.
Then you must make haste at once, if this is your course of action.
Thanks for bringing me the information, Father.
No gratitude is necessary. We are at war, and it must be done. I will mark the location on your map. As for now, I have other duties in the defense of the Sword Coast and this keep, and I must see to them.
And off you go.
Father's not one for showing emotion, is he? It's difficult to see how he raised you, and you turned out so different.
He has a duty and he takes it seriously. He's got a good heart. He sacrificed much to raise me. We don't choose our fathers, and I got what fate gave me. We're not going to say that. And we're not going to definitely not say that, yeah. It's a good heart. He sacrificed much to raise me properly.
He certainly did. I, for one, am pleased with the results. Regardless, we need to find the circle. But as for reaching the location, that could be difficult.
I thought I heard the cries of a damsel in distress. Someone had to fill Chandra's role, eh?
Bishop, this doesn't concern you, so stop spying on us.
My dear, with you around, it pays to be extra watchful. I like to keep an eye out to make sure you aren't trying to play our leader for a fool. And because you don't always fasten your robes as tightly as you should, sometimes I catch a glimpse of other secrets.
Oh, Bishop. I'm surprised you even care, Bishop.
Surprises and me travel together. You should know that by now. For another surprise, why don't you show me on the map you have there where your druid friends are?
They're in the Mare, along the northwestern reaches, near the settlements the orcs attacked many years ago during their incursion into Neverwinter.
I suspected that might be one of the places. As for the incursions, it wasn't just orcs. That's near an area the King of Shadows isn't likely to have claimed yet. Might be a good staging area to look for your dead druid friends.
Dagon says they're alive.
Maybe for now. Still, if you want to go, I can guide you to a safe port on the edge of the marsh.
All right. That would be welcome.
Okay, your sword will be welcome, Bishop.
Save your gratitude until we get there and see the truth. But we better leave soon. Something tells me those friends of yours may have to move around a lot if they want to avoid the shadows.
Yes. Bishop's probably right.
All right then. I'll set out now. I'll start scouting the path and join up with you only when need be. It'll save us all a lot of time.
Pardon me, Captain, but if I could just, have a moment of your time...
If you don't want a dagger between your ribs, I suggest you ask for alms elsewhere.
No respect that guy gets. No respect. Okay, so we have to do that, but before we do that, we're going to do some other stuff, because like I said, we still got a couple of things around here. So, I guess that's the church over here. Yeah, so it's nice and rebuilt. Actually, let's talk to Sir Neville, too, because we'll go in there, because like I said, if we have to buy stuff, I'll do that off screen. Well met, Captain. Nasher has assigned me to support your efforts here at the Keep. I've spoken with Vidal. He informs me that he has the resources now to rebuild the ruined tower in the courtyard. It's your choice, of course, but I would recommend building a guard tower for the Nine to use as their base of operation. How goes the effort? Let's see, what are Lord Nasher's orders again? Lord Nasher needs you to find a way to defeat the Shadow Reavers. I know not how, but Aldenon might. We've already gone over what we got to do there, I think. We also need to find a way to the King of Shadows fortress. Unless we can strike at him directly, all our efforts will prove useless. There's also clan dwarves and sword mounds. Okay, yeah, so this is just going over. We have to make allies. I believe you met some of their scouts in Old Owlwell. And then had trouble reporting from High Cliffs, not just about the King of Shadows forces, but other forces stirring the area. It bears checking out, and soon. Okay, I'm still preparing my forces, and I will return. Okay. And as far as he had to go, he's just going to sit there in the area, I guess. Let's see. So, we're going to build the Mage Tower, and to do that, we have to talk to the Luskan prosecutor ambassador lady, whose name escapes me at the moment. And I gotta level you up since I haven't used you in a while. And you're right over here, yeah. Torio, that was your name. So, you are rebuilding Garrus's fortress. The irony is sharp indeed. Yes, one best not test the edge, or else it could cause a nasty scratch indeed. Sand, come now, let's not start. We both have such a disdain for personal politics, no reason for us to get on each other's bad sides. Is there any other side of you? I shall make a note of it. Still, I prefer being here to being in a cell, unless you have some other plans for me that would make me long for a prison wall. I think you have reduced your pay, never went for your crime. Perhaps you might have change of heart if you see what we do here. Not big on plans or law. I have perfected. You've used fail me, and you'll be doing that. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Change of heart. You really are that knave. Why, that's so attractive. You attracted to me, that is? Almost as attractive as your cell. Come now, Druidess, you're not the one giving the orders. Your noble leader is, and it is he I'm helping, not you. I was Garrus's eyes in Neverwinter and Luskin, and he often had me on the lookout for recruits. Despite this, he made some poor choices. Part of any war effort is resources and personnel, and in that area I may be of some use. Alien recruits for the keep. I thought we already did this, but maybe I didn't. Even war effort needs compromises. Soldiers, even the host tower with its emphasis on magic recognizes this. There's a Luskin mercenary who goes by the name of Jalbar of the Two Blades. He currently works for Sidney Natel. If you can convince him to leave his employ, he may prove a valuable ally. Might do that. He was once a sergeant of Luskin, though, and the circumstances for his discharge were controversial. There's no denying his skill at arms. I have another question. I'm not going. This is just more, I think, background stuff. There's true rule of Luskin, maintain the stronghold of the city. That would be a kind description. They are much like our friend Garrus in power and temperament. They said to be powerful mages. Thanks, Cora, since I never use you and never talk to you. Capable of great feats of magic if they weren't backstabbing each other all the time. While Garrus was able to rise in their ranks, they were some that he was forced to watch, and ones who watched him. Whether or not they were watching Garrus or were using the war to their advantage, I don't know. How many mages are in the war effort? Most of the host tower, including the Archmage, joined in the effort against Ruthium. Serves us as effective distraction for Garrus to operate more freely. Okay. The ritual took place in the keep. What was it? Alliance with the King of Shadows was a delicate one, and the scales were heavily in the King of Shadows' favor. That did not sit well with Garrus and his ambition. Though research he uncovered a ritual tied to the King of Shadows that would provide him with the power he needed to make the arrangement more to his liking. Seems the ritual they were doing succeeded, and it seems to give them great power. But the price perhaps was not what they intended. Where once they were allies of the King of Shadow, now they are thrall. So you've dealt with any of the Lorne before? You were helping with the ritual? Okay, so that's this backstory stuff I don't think we need at the moment. I guess maybe we have to go, since we hadn't talked to her, maybe we have to go in and out. While we're doing that, let's just check with Hana. I have a Grey Cloak report for you. Spreading our men to both roads and field diminishes their effectiveness, but the men have done a great job with the road. Merchants feel safe, and they throng to the keep. In the surrounding lands, our patrols are strong and have dealt with most threats. It has been a struggle, but our farms are safe as the ones on that border Neverwinter itself. Okay, got that. Let's see if we can talk to them. Let's build something. Tower. So never look to use a tower or something or other. I think that, yeah, that's just until we find some people that want the building. There's probably several different people interested. I want the Mage Tower. I don't really want the Neverwinter 9 Tower. But let's see if we can get Torio to talk about the tower now. And I just run right into that pillar. It's going to be the same thing. Everyone's the other questions. Maybe I'm just going to have to go through this, I think. Maybe that will do it. So they need spell book, so what? Basically talking about who stole the book. We know that Garius did, but the host tower didn't. And they've been eager to make, you know, the Uthmas their own. We work to our advantage and ours. How would this all work to ours? The war turned many eyes away from him. And somehow surprised me that the host tower was not more aggressive in determining who stole the book. It's unlikely they especially considered that it was a tome of great power. I agree, they are not ones to let mysteries lie, especially political ones. Caution Garius against the theft seemed too much too soon. But he needed to do it because of his alliance with the King of Shadows. So where's the tome now? I think we've figured out that it's with Garius. Don't know. Found someone would have said, but there's been no word. Whoever possesses it now, however, could have access to secrets concerning the golems as well as portal magic it was rumored to possess. Golems, yes, and I'm not sure, so the details are unclear to me. Maybe we have to talk to Sans, because I thought we had to talk to her, but I guess maybe we don't. Blade Golem, I doubt Garius could instructed those, but the book may be provided to control them. It was said to have been used as a means of staging the Golem attack on Neverwinter in the war with Luskan many years ago. Though secrets and portals and planners travel aside, the tome can be a dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. And with the tome missing, I fear for Neverwinter. Okay, so we got all that, and that actually... Tell me Garius Black, the ritual keep took place. Went over this, which is nothing new. I had other questions. But he's not dead. Many years ago in the streets of Luskan, he's in copper singing, performing in the Luskan alehouses. So are you like a bard character if you were singing and performing? And you were kind of a spy, so that would kind of make sense. From there, he was able to track their movements and their places. As time wore on, Garius' prestige grew. It became a useful tool, and eventually an effective weapon. There is only so much a wizard's scrying can see, and I became the eyes that saw the rest. I believe we asked about Garius, not your dull past. All in good time. Sand, if you do not wish me to elaborate further, then be patient. I've rarely seen someone of Garius' raw ambition. He was determined to become a master of the tower, and he rose through the ranks so quickly, so brutally, that he earned the name Master of the Fifth Tower. That's the only, there are only 4 towers in Luskan. Such a title for a tower yet to be built is no small thing. But I suspect his hunger for power led to his downfall and led to his alliance with the King of Shadows. He became obsessed with the ritual, and it led him here. Okay. And the ritual. We did part of this already. Something given great power. So when you dealt with him and Lauren before, were you helping with the ritual? He had an agent, old Owl, a priest of Shadow, which we killed, I remember, doing research upon corpses to uncover a process of allowing those with arcane ability to keep them even after undeath claimed them. And he also needed the Tome of Ilkazar, which was held by Luskin's neighbor. And that's how the war started. Yes, the theft set off a chain of events, and that's worked to our advantage. You know, we kept it. Tome looks at the dates back. So then this goes back into that thing. Okay, I had other questions. That's that. And that just resets it. I want to talk about... Okay, maybe we have to talk, like I said, maybe we need to talk to Sans or Aldenon.
Yes?
What Torres said about their trial. What about your shop? I want to ask some other questions.
Very well. What answers do you seek?
No, that's nothing we need. Aldenon, maybe you have it. Put on the alliances. Alliances are tricky and would require more knowledge in current affairs history than one since I. Okay, so maybe I can't build it right now. Once again, it's the same thing. Spring are basically saying we're doing a good job. Just for seeing, can I do anything we build? Keep Andys for the tower. Okay, so don't think there's anyone else. Oh, here we go. This is not suitable, not at all. Why did I bother coming here? Excuse me? You're the master here, perhaps? You could tell me why the portents borne by the astral winds have brought me to this place when it lacks a respectable wizard's tower. Portents, astral winds? I am the great archmage Startear. Well, it is pleased to meet another wizard. You act as if you don't know who I am. Could it be that this place is backwards enough not to know Startear? I'm not going to bluff because I suck at it. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I suppose that should not surprise me, seeing as you lack even a basic wizard's tower. I know, it's a problem I'm trying to correct. Why do I need a wizard's tower? Why, so you can take advantage of my services. And what services are those? Services of an archmage, of course. The portents tell me that you could use one of my power to bolster the defenses of your keep. I sense that you are a junior practitioner of the arcane arts. There may be some secrets I can teach you. In exchange for all that I can offer, I wish to use this place as a hub for my studies of this planer's peculiarities. Well, what exactly is it that you study? That is my business alone. You would not understand my answers to the question in any case. Now I must return to my home in Sigil. You may gain my services by constructing a wizard's tower with the following specifications. I require a fully functioning wizard's tower with a lodge for one space for research and access to assistance. I will be scrying you to know if you have accomplished my needs. Once you have done so, I will learn of it and come to live here for now. Goodbye. Okay, so now we should be able to build a wizard's tower. Thought we had to talk to Toriel to do it, but maybe we did not have to do that at all. We build tower in the old church. I want to build a great tower into the guard tower into a wizard's tower. 60, I think we just have enough. Or not, because we need 1,000. We have keep fund 62. Don't have nothing right now. What do I have? I do not have enough yet. Okay, but like I said, I might be able to do that if we sell or maybe go in here. Again. I have another note and a package from Derriard. Somehow they've uncovered information about the Guardian. They have proven capable enough and even useful. If they come by again, I'll make sure to grab you. Okay, what did I acquire? The note and a ring of positive thinking. Let's see this note. To the Knight, Captain of Crossroad Keep. I am absolutely thrilled to report our latest findings. After our last trip into the Mare of Deadmen, we were not eager to return. Maxil had a brilliant suggestion for once. He said that when you lose something such as your lucky stockings, more on that later, the best way to find it is not to look for it, and eventually it will come to you. So, to execute Maxwell's stratagem, we set off to Port Last, in order not to find information on the Guardian. In Port Last, we encountered a strange pair of scholars who told us to use the Windersnaven, a race of omnipotent beings who, as near as we could tell, either live in floating trees in Neverwinter woods or float on living trees in Neverwinter River. We set out to find these beings, figuring that if they were truly omnipotent, they would know all about the Guardian. Unfortunately, we ended up getting lost. Following the directions the scholar of Port Last, we ended up in the mountains where we encountered the rather surly spirit of a dead dragon who offered us some treasure if we would help him. We took his treasure, fully intending to help, but suddenly we were chased away by a black dragon. While fleeing for our lives, my lucky stockings fell from my pack and became caught in the massive claws of the dragon. After we escaped, I must admit I forgot all about learning about the Guardian and was instead obsessed with reclaiming my lucky stockings from the black dragon. We tailed after the dragon, which led us to some ruins that Julian told me was once an Ilfar temple. Suddenly, remembering our mission, I said silly goodbyes to my lucky stockings and set us to exploring the ruins. After an exhausting search, we uncovered a tidbit of information about the Guardian that I hoped will be valuable to you. The Guardian was a vegetarian! Good to know, so we can kill him by throwing meat at him. And meat usually means us, because we'll be those meat shields. With this new knowledge, I was able to theorize, and the others agree, that if you were to force the King of Shadows, he would not actually devour you, as the old wives' tales would have you believe. Now that you are armed with this information, you may plan your strategy accordingly for when you at last face the King of Shadows. Along with this letter, I have sent a package containing a trinket that I have been carrying around since the beginning of my adventuring days. I figure you'll need it more than I in these dark days to come, and all my ring fingers are not full-formed, that fingers are now full from all of the treasure we have found on our journey. You guys are really special. Let's see. Wisdom, -1 wisdom, +1 to intelligence, and resistant to negative energy. It's not bad, but I don't think that's really anything I need at the moment. I'll give it to Sans, maybe. Okay, anything else for me? Grey Cloak report. Spreading our men thin. We're all good then. And just to be sure, let's make sure there's nothing here. Nope, nothing there. Okay, do I have enough money to build the tower now? There's a tower. I don't have. Okay, so I don't. So what I'm going to do is off screen. I'm going to go ahead and get my party together and then sell any excess stuff I don't need, and hopefully that will get me enough money so I can build that tower. And we'll pick it up in the next episode, and I'll show you, I guess, if we're able to do that, what the tower looks like, and we'll go inside the church and see if there's anything. So I will see you in the next episode.